Hello everyone, my name is Arian and we're back with another video. So today we're going to be comparing two games that are very much alike. They shouldn't be alike, but they're very much alike. We're going to be comparing Witcher and Odyssey. And yes, before you go crazy in the comments, Witcher is like Odyssey. I'm talking to you, yes, to you, Assassin's Creed fans. I've played all of the Assassin's Creed games that I could get my hands on. I mean, the Assassin's Creed games that I can play on the PS4. And I guarantee you, none of them are like Odyssey. Odyssey is like a whole new different level. It's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying this game is not like the rest of the Assassin's Creed game, because in the rest of the Assassin's Creed game, you have a goddamn like hidden blade or you have a hood. But in Odyssey, it's MMORPG. Like it's like I'm playing Skyrim again in third person, or in this case, Witcher, with climbing and everything. So okay, today I'm going to be considering 5 different aspects from both games, and we're going to be comparing them to each other. And yes, I'm uploading this because of the Witcher trailer. I got hyped and said, yay, let's record this. Okay, these 5 aspects are gameplay, characters, protagonists, story, and graphics. Let's begin. Okay, starting with gameplay. I think this comparison is gonna be a little bit easy. You see, in Witcher, you only have swords, maces, and axes, and also the crossbow you can use. Including the ones I said for The Witcher, you have hammers, daggers, dual wields, and you also have this bow. In combat, I think Odyssey has the upper hand. And also in Odyssey, you have the skill tree. As you level up, it gives you new moves. But in Witcher, you have a skill tree, but it's not as complex as this. It's really simple. It can amplify your signs and virility. It's good, but it's not as good as Odyssey. Not to mention that there are multiple ways of killing someone in Odyssey. You can jump on their head, you can sneak attack them. But in Witcher, you have to mostly face them head on. And, well, I think, as I said, Odyssey has the upper hand. Tropical. And climbing and everything, I mean, Witcher's climbing is really primitive, and it's not really something to brag about, but come on. Climbing in Assassin's Creed was one of the main things of the game, and you can't compare Witcher to Assassin's Creed games when it comes to climbing. But don't get me wrong, there are flaws in Odyssey's gameplay, like horse riding. Like, goddammit, I hate that. I hate horse riding in Odyssey. You see, in normal horse riding, you usually press X for your horse to sprint. But in Odyssey, it's not like that. If you press X, the horse will set a destination and it will go by itself. I know it's okay, but comparing it to Witcher, it's catastrophical. Okay, so saying that which game has more interesting characters is one of the easiest things that I'm going to do today. So both games have a lot of characters, so I can name them all, but let's compare Triss and Yennefer to Deimos and Alexios' mother. I mean, it's not really comparable. I mean, come on. Triss and Yennefer have really unique personalities, but in my opinion, the only characters who have somewhat of a unique personality are exactly Deimos and Alexios' mother. Maybe Phoebe has a bit of personality too, but but when you compare it to Ciri, I mean, has nothing. Let's see. Because when you get to know a character, like for example, you actually have time to spend with Triss and Yennefer, and if you do, you get to see that Yennefer is one of those people who doesn't like dirty places, who's just one of those fancy women who wants to dress well and be in the king's court and party all night. But in Odyssey, you don't really get to see that. You get a background of each character a little bit, but you don't get to know their interests. Because a big part of one's personality is what they like and what they hate and how they want things to be done. And I don't really see that in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Okay, saying that which game had a better protagonist I think is even easier than explaining which game had better characters. Okay, either you play Cassandra or Alexios, you know that these characters do not have much of a personality, because these characters are supposed to be you. Like, you get to decide how you play as these characters, how your play style is, how you dress, and even how you can communicate with people. But in Witcher, on the other hand, you don't get to really choose a play style. You barely choose your armor, and you only make some decisions for the character. Nothing more, nothing less. This is why Geralt has more of a personality than Alexios and Cassandra, because he has interests and he has things that he hates. Like, for example, he hates portals, as he says, and he says that he doesn't want to choose between an evil and a lesser evil. And I'm not saying that Assassin's Creed did a bad job at making a protagonist. I'm saying that these protagonists are raw. They're supposed to be designed by you, and they're supposed to have a personality that you have, or at least the personality you want them to have. Now we're here with graphics. Considering that graphics is something completely visual, we have to compare these games side by side. But I don't really think that's necessary, because if you look at these games, you can see that Witcher was released in 2015, but Assassin's Creed Odyssey was released in 2018. I mean, even though Witcher was released in 2015, it has tremendous graphics. But come on, it's Ubisoft we're talking about. Sure, their games are buggy and have a lot of glitches, but when it had come to graphics, Ubisoft has done the best it could. I mean, let's look at some other Ubisoft games like Watch Dogs 2, Watch Dogs. And even if we compare these games side by side, you can see that Assassin's Creed Odyssey has better lighting and has a little bit more better graphics.
There's something lurking there.
Believe me, you don't want to know.
So okay, this is why I put story last, because if you ask me, story is one of the main aspects and most important parts of a video game. Okay, and both Witcher and Odyssey had really good stories, but all of them had a lot of flaws. Like, Odyssey's was at times way too boring and Witcher's was way too long at times. But I might have to go on with Witcher on this one. Okay, so first of all, in Witcher's story, there were no gaps in between stories. When you did the mission, you could jump exactly onto another one. But in Odyssey, on the other hand, you had to do side quests for your level to go up to do the other ones. I mean, it's not something that's related to the story, but that would really kill my mood. Imagine, like, you just met Alexios' mother, you're hyped to do her quest, and suddenly you see that you're level 20 and the level required is level 30. And it goes on your nerves and kind of your hype goes down and you don't want to do it anymore. I mean, that was how it was for me. Okay, the story of these two games are very different, but Assassin's Creed Odyssey's story is a bit loose. I mean, come on, mercenary goes on to buy a ship, and he goes on to find his father, the Wolf of Sparta, and when he does, he understands that his sister is the leader of some cult trying to take over the world or something, and he understands that it was the cult in the first place who planned her death. I mean, it's really loose. It's okay, but compared to Witcher's, Geralt of Rivia, an old Witcher, who is looking for Yennefer, and when he does find Yennefer, he comes to the understanding that Ciri, his daughter, not his biological daughter, needs help. She's running from the Wild Hunt because of her powers, and Geralt needs to find her and save her. I mean, the story is way simpler, but I think the plot is more heavy, it's heavier, and it's more goal-based. But in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you don't really see that. It's more venturing, and then through those adventures, some like shit happens that our protagonist continues it. I mean, I'm okay with it. But I think Witcher's story is more interesting. And a good story needs good characters. And what Assassin's Creed Odyssey missed in this comparison was exactly characters and protagonists. So that's why I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey does not win this round. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and before this video ends, I have to say this is only my opinion. You don't really need to have the same opinion as me. I was just stating my opinion, I'm not stating facts. So maybe you enjoyed Assassin's Creed Odyssey story more than Witcher's. And I just hope that you enjoyed this video and I could entertain you for a few minutes. So there's a rule in this channel. If you watched the video and you've liked it, you have to hit that like button. And if you're curious to see more, please subscribe and check our channel. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.